Welcome to Me, Him and Football.
Football, but from a couple's perspective.
That's right.
I'm Linda, I'm his wife.
I'm Carl, I'm her husband.
And on this week's show, we are going to be giving you a roundup of the FA Cup and Champions League.
Very good.
We will be learning about something that I didn't ask for, but he's going to teach me anyways. There is also, UEFA coefficient. We are also going to have a quiz to test my knowledge, your knowledge, our knowledge.
Mhm.
We're going to be discussing the hottest topics in the What You Missed section.
Mhm.
And I know something that's making this man incredibly happy is that Premier League action is returning. So that means couple v the league. Our predictions are back.
And also, we're going to spotlight the bigger match of this weekend.
Come on.
Okay, so the final weekend without Premier League action, so the FA Cup quarterfinals, we had a massive shock. Biggest shock of the competition so far. Shout out to you Southampton fans. They beat Arsenal 2-1.
Crazy.
Knocked them out of the second domestic cup in a row after Man City beat them in the League Cup final. I mean, they've gone from being talked about as quadruple winners, Arsenal, to now only the double. We see only the double.
Double's not bad.
Not weird. If they
More than others.
If they win both of them, the Premier League and Champions League, serious achievement. But, you know, they luckily beat Sporting Lisbon in the first leg of their Champions League quarterfinal, Arsenal. So they take a 1-0 lead into the second leg.
Okay.
But it's all about Southampton. They still got a big chance of return to the Premier League as well after they got relegated last season. So they've got an FA Cup semi-final, the potential promotion to back to the Premier League. So life is good for the Saints.
Okay.
So in that semi-final, they're going to take on Man City, who smacked up Liverpool 4-0 in their quarter-final. Erling Haaland hat-trick, another goal for Antoine Semenyo. Liverpool facing a trophy this season because in their Champions League quarter-final, they also got smacked 2-0 by PSG, and really it should have been about 6-0.
Happening.
Listen, that should have been about 6-0. If they turn it around at Anfield, it'll be a miracle, but I don't see them doing it. Wow. So Liverpool, hey, Arne Slot, I'm not sure he's going to be there next season.
Wow.
Just after he won the league last season as well. Crazy how things can switch real quick.
What a difference a season makes.
You see it? A team that did get smacked up, Port Vale. They went to Chelsea.
7-0?
7-0, you know. I mean, it's to be expected, right? They're a couple of divisions below Chelsea. They're even bottom of that division.
Hey.
And Chelsea needed that because they'd lost their previous 2 league games in a row.
Okay.
Final FA Cup quarterfinal, West Ham Leeds. Now, this was a cracker because Leeds were winning 2-0. So West Ham were down 2-0. In injury time, they scored 2 goals in like 3 minutes to bring it back to 2-2, take it to extra time, and then penalties. They did all that just to lose.
Oh.
They lost 4-2 on penalties. So we now know the FA Cup semi-final, as I said, you've got Southampton v Man City, and you've got Chelsea v Leeds.
Wow.
Another week of happenings in football. We had Aaron Wan-Bissaka missing West Ham's FA Cup defeat to Leeds because he was celebrating DR Congo's qualification for the World Cup.
Let that man celebrate, no?
Now, look, it was the first time they've reached the tournament
in
since
52 years?
Yeah, that's very good. Since 1974, right? West Ham have submitted a complaint to FIFA over this. Now, I don't actually think it was Wan-Bissaka's fault or decision.
Yeah.
But, you know, the president and of the country, everyone was celebrating, right? So, but, you know, his team got knocked out of the FA Cup quarterfinal. So maybe
if he was there.
Maybe it could have made a difference. But, you know, and also apparently West Ham has scheduled a plane to take him and he obviously never turned up.
Oh, so the financial... Ooh.
So, yeah. They're not happy, but Nuno in his press conference this week said, you know, it's an internal matter. He didn't elaborate too much.
I like that.
And you know what? He did say, you know, it was a big achievement for them. Yeah. So he acknowledged that.
Yeah.
Elsewhere, there had been confirmation that the side who finishes 5th in the Premier League will automatically qualify for next season's Champions League.
Is that new or different?
Yes. So it was always expected, but now we've got the confirmation.
Okay.
So Arsenal's win over Sporting Lisbon in their quarterfinal first leg ensures that the Premier League is one of the top 2 coefficient leagues in Europe. So they get the extra spot. Okay. And we're going to learn about the coefficient a little later. Yeah.
Now, my turn. FIFA. So, another day, another FIFA issue. This is to do with tickets. So, the World Cup, when you put your name into one of the ballots, you had 4 categories of which to put for, category 1, 2, 3, whatever. Category 1 was supposed to be the best types of seats, right? And there were actually floor plans and maps in different arenas to show you where you could potentially be sitting. Now, the problem is many fans who splurged on those tickets have actually been allocated tickets that are for category 2. Yeah, because what FIFA have allegedly been doing is updating the maps gradually, putting things in different sections. Now, on top of that, they've included a new category, which is for front row seating, which should have technically been covered in category 1. And these are double the price of category 1 tickets. Now, obviously, a lot of fans have come out to say they feel misled. FIFA's response was that the actual maps were indicative and not actual exact to where you'd be sitting. It was more for, more of an indication and to give you an idea. So yeah, I've heard one person wants to do like a class action lawsuit against FIFA. I don't know. I got to ask my brother because he got tickets. So I need to ask him where he's been allocated. Actually, anyone listening, have you got tickets for the World Cup? Are you part of this situation? Because I've seen a bit of discourse where some fans are saying, look, this is just new World Cup fans that are complaining like this. The diehard fans are just happy to be there. But how happy can you be to be there when you're spending hundreds, thousands of pounds? You're not getting exactly what you've paid for.
Yeah, and also elsewhere as well, for games at the Boston Stadium. The stadium is not actually in Boston, it's like 40 miles outside. And where train tickets would, currently cost $8 to travel there, they're going to be hyped up to 85. So it's like a 10 times markup.
It's ridiculous.
So yeah, it's going to be a real expensive one for fans.
UEFA coefficient. When I tell you, those 2 words mean nothing to me.
But they're going to mean something to her after I teach her.
All right, go on.
All right, so UEFA's coefficient, what is it?
I don't know.
It's based on the average or the rankings of all European clubs in UEFA club competition.
Okay.
Right? So the country rankings,
okay,
also known as association club coefficient,
yes,
take into account the results of all clubs from each association or country, and they're used to determine the number of entries a country or association is granted for the upcoming seasons. So however the clubs of a particular country perform over the course of
a season,
they accumulate points based on wins, draws, or losses.
To go to where? To
calculate how many places that country gets for upcoming seasons. So,
I don't understand. I'm not gonna lie. Okay, wait. So, this is UEFA, right?
Correct.
Okay.
It's only UEFA.
It's only UEFA. So, is the Premier League part of UEFA?
Correct.
Okay. So, depending on how the clubs in the Premier League do over this year, that's how many spots they're going to be allocated to what, though?
For the next season's competition.
What competition?
All the UEFA competitions.
Okay, so that includes the Champions League.
Go on.
And the Europa League?
Yes. And there's one more, remember.
One more. Oh, I just did it. Shh. Europa League.
You got this.
Champions League, Europa League. What does it begin with?
C.
Champions League.
The Conference League.
Conference League.
Correct, right? Okay, so that's for the countries, right? But within that, clubs also generate their own coefficients. So how they've done in UEFA competition determines their seeding.
Like the Euros. No.
That's actually a good question. I'm not sure if it's done. No, it's not done like that for the Euros. For the Euros, obviously, they qualify via group stages, and then a draw happens, and then they're placed into groups.
Okay.
Whereas for UEFA club competitions, the club's performances generate them a number of points, then they're seeded, and then they're put into the draw for the respective competition: Champions League, Europa League, Conference League. So the club coefficient rankings take into account each club's performance in Europe over the past 5 seasons and determine a club's seeding in a particular UEFA competition. And they get updated after each round of UEFA competition, so they are always up to date.
Okay, so for example, if Man United had done really badly for 4 years, but did amazingly 1 year,
Yeah.
they could still be eligible to be in the Champions League, Conference League, or Europa League.
No, so within the competition that they qualify for, you take the average of those 5 years, and then that will determine where they're seeded in that season's Champions League,
So
for
what
example.
does seeded mean?
Seeded, so it's like the position. So you get the 1 seed, who's obviously the top team,
Who
and
they
then it goes
think
all the
will
way
win.
down.
So the seeds aren't important. It's just what they think, how well they think you're
I
going to do.
mean, they can matter because it will determine where you're placed in a particular group, and then that can then affect what type of fixtures you get. So
I think it sounds rather a bit complicated, more complicated than it needs to be. Like, for all of these champions competitions, can't they just do what they do, group stages, whoever wins goes through? Because what's all this seeding about?
well, I think what's happening is that they're always seem to be adding more clubs into these competitions,
Okay.
and they're trying to find a way to make it fair
Okay,
to rank them.
thank you.
Quiz time. All right.
Let's see if I can redeem myself after last week I got 0.
But will that be the case this week?
No.
I don't think it will be. All right, question 1. Who has more assists for Manchester United?
Okay.
Is it A, David Beckham, or B, Bruno Fernandes?
David Beckham.
No, you would have thought so, but no, Bruno Fernandes. He just got his 100th for the club in all competitions. He's got 67 in the Premier League. All right, question 2.
Okay.
Who won more Premier League titles? Was it A, Frank Lampard, or B, Steven Gerrard?
Gerrard?
No!
I don't like this game. I don't like
Frank
this game.
Lampard's got 3 Premier League titles with Chelsea. Steven Gerrard's got none. All right. Question 3.
Okay.
Who won more Premier League titles for Manchester City? Was it A, David Silva, or B, Yaya Toure?
Yaya Toure?
No.
You're lying.
Yaya Toure won 3, but David Silva won 4.
No, this guy has cursed me. You have really cursed me, you know.
We're going to help her redeem herself.
Okay,
We're going to give her a bonus question. What year was the last time that Arsenal lifted a Premier League title? Was it A, 2002, or B, 2004?
This is so hard. 2002?
2 weeks in a row, 0.
Oh my God.
2004, they won it. The Invincibles. Chelsea v Man City. The big match this weekend. Man City going for the title. Chelsea needing a win to stay in the hunt for Champions League. Chelsea are kneecapping themselves as well because Enzo Fernandez, their midfielder, remember last week we talked about him and his wife talking about going to Madrid?
Yes.
Well, he got banned for 2 matches by his team for those comments. So in his press conference today, Liam Rosenior said that, after this match, hopefully he'll be back. There's still some hurdles to overcome. So God knows what that means for Fernandez's future, but they will not be with him for this match.
Wow.
But they do have other talents they can bring in, like Esteval, young Brazilian, very exciting player. To be honest, he should be getting more game time for Chelsea.
Okay.
It's also at Stamford Bridge, so that's in their favour.
Yeah.
But they haven't beaten Man City in the league since 2021.
That's a long time,
It's a long time, 5 years. Man City need to win every game if they want to win the Premier League title, because
okay.
Arsenal play before them as well.
Yeah.
So if Arsenal beat Bournemouth at lunchtime on Saturday, it could be a 12-point gap to Man City, who then have 2 games in hand and have to play Arsenal.
Okay.
But obviously psychologically, the pressure is on.
Yeah.
So, title race could be over this weekend. If Chelsea somehow beat City and Arsenal beat Bournemouth, then it's pretty much a formality. So we'll see what happens.
The Couple Be the League is back. It is time for our predictions. Just to keep you up to date in case you were lost, I currently have 27 correct predictions and he currently has 23 correct predictions. So what can I say? So game week 32, West Ham v Wolves.
Mm-hmm.
I am going to say this is going to be a 1-1 draw.
Yeah, so hard to call. You know, this is relegation. I'm going to say 2-1 Wolves.
Okay.
West Ham 1, Wolves 2.
Thank you very much. And Arsenal v Bournemouth. Arsenal's going to have this 2-0.
Arsenal should have this 1-0.
Brentford v Everton. I think Brentford are going to have this one, actually. So I'm going to say 2-0 again.
Everton have been quite good away, so I'm going to go 2-2.
Okay. And then we have Burnley v Brighton.
Ooh.
I can't remember what's happening with any of these teams.
Burnley are in the relegation zone.
Perfect. Thank you for that. So I say it's going to be 0 for Burnley and 3 for Brighton.
Brighton got outside chance of a European spot, but Burnley 1, Brighton 2.
All right. Then we have Liverpool v Fulham. I actually think this is going to be a draw. So I don't think Liverpool are doing too well right now. So I'm going to say 1-1.
Interesting. I'm going to go 1-0.
To who?
Home team.
Okay, so that.
Liverpool 1, Fulham 0.
Perfect. Crystal Palace v Newcastle. I've got a soft spot for Crystal Palace. I do. So I'm going to say 1-0.
Well, they had a big result in Europe as well this week. So in the Conference League, looks like they're going to be through to the semi-final. So they're going to be riding high. I'm going to say Palace 2, Newcastle 1.
All right. Then we have Nottingham Forest v Aston Villa. Forest or relegation, right?
Well, they're just above relegation,
Just
so they're
above.
doing all right.
Okay.
Well, I say they're doing all right, but, you know, they're 3 points ahead of the relegation zone. So
Okay, I'm going to say 2-2 to both those guys.
I'm going to say 1-1.
Okay. Then we have Sunderland v Tottenham. Tottenham, really, I don't know.
Got their new manager in place, Roberto De Zerbi.
Yeah.
His first match.
Okay, so maybe they're going to be riding high on that. So I think I'll go 0 for Sunderland and 1 for Tottenham.
I'm going to go Sunderland 1, Tottenham 2.
Okay, oops. All right, then we have Chelsea v Man City, which is the one we highlighted, spotlighted. I think it's going to be a 2-2. I don't think it's going to give Man City what they need.
Chelsea 1, Man City 2.
All right. And then finally, that's correct, 1-2. Then finally, the boys, Man United against Leeds. I feel good about this one. I think it's going to be 2-1 to Man United.
2-0.
I was going to say that, you know.
All right, that wraps up another week for me, him and football. Premier League is back. Come on, it's the run-in now. It's the business end of the season. So, if you want to give us your thoughts on what might happen, or even thoughts on the episodes, hit us up on the socials, Instagram, TikTok, X, YouTube, Me, Him and Football.
Yep.
Or email us at
mehimfootball
at
gmail.com.
Yay!
Until next week.
Later.